Diego, se cayó del barco. Así que estamos aquí. Salud. And they don't know the tips how the fishing right now is biting, or what kind of fish, what kind of line, reel, rods, you know, all the stuff. And then it's good to hear that sometimes captains plan how's the fishing right now in the water, but everything could be changed right now. A couple of weeks ago I was fishing in this boat here, so a lot of bluefin tuna is wide open. Now it's, they say it's like, you know, dorados, bluefin.
There's been kelps the past couple of days with anywhere between 30 and 80 fish. You can imagine when every single rod gets bent, you don't want to be the person with 20-pound test sitting there taking a sweet time while your fish goes into the kelp and wraps up and goes away. 30-pound test with a 2-aught hook, that's going to be your go-to. Your other outfit is your finesse rig 20-pound test with a little small size 2, not 2-0, but 2 J-hook. Fluorocarbon, small hook, light line. This is your finesse rig. The yellowfin has been picky. You guys see that stuff that popped up in the lights when we're coming in? Anybody? The chovy, small chovy. They're eating this little tiny bait. They've got a lot of it. They've been very difficult to get a bite out of. And it's really hard to get the fish to stick to the boat. Now every day's different. Hopefully tomorrow it's not like that. Hopefully the day after it's even better. But we've been getting little short options, or little short windows of opportunity, and it's the good baits on the right gear that are good bites. Not all. I would recommend the light line, but only when necessary. So let's start off just about on all this stuff with 30-pound test and a 2-aught hook. That's what you want to start on the kelp. The yellowtail, they're hungry on kelps, they'll eat it. Dorado, they're the dumbest fish that swims around here. They'll eat it. The tuna can be a bit tougher. Now, if we got to stop, especially when we first slide out these baits, and when we first come to a stop, we can get away with a heavier line. So by all means, fish it. But if we're sitting there for a little bit, maybe even after my first bait, unless there's a whole bunch of rods getting bent, I can go put that 30-pound away and grab your 20-pound outfit and go to work. A little bit more finesse. We did catch a few fish on jigs, not these giant flat and follow jigs, knife jigs, that kind of stuff, just like boat snipers, zacanas, mega bait kind of stuff, little shiny things.
How many grams on those?
I would say something like 200, 250, something like that.
20. Okay, so big knife, okay. Pretty heavy then.
Yeah, well, they're about that big. Like,
how deep?
But they're not even in the water a lot of times. They've been jumping out, splashing around.
Anything on the popper?
Yes, we had one fish on the popper. But most of that fish is up high. For yellowfin tuna, I'd be dropping down about 100, 150 feet.
So they're hanging deeper.
No, they're up high. But that's where, I mean, that's shallow in the tuna world. Most of this bluefin, for instance, is like 250, 300 plus feet. But 30-pound test and 20-pound test, 2-0 hook, size 2 hook, and take it easy on the drags. Take it easy, especially on that 20-pound outfit. If you're fishing 20-pound outfit, it's tuna. They're gonna be smoking some line off the reel. Let them do it. There's no structure. You don't have to worry about them getting in the rocks or wrapping around a kelp. There's nothing else out there. Let them take some line. Let them get tired. Wind them back. Put a gap in their face. That 30-pound test, there is balance. There, you want it set. You want it correct. Now you can err on the side of it being too light. If your drag's way too light, we can fix it. We can notice that you don't have a whole lot of bend. I notice your yellowtail screaming line out towards that kelp or something. We can come up to you and be like, check that drag. Oh, give you a little bit. But if your drag is just half of a fraction too tight, if it's just a little tiny bit too tight, that rod doubles over, the line comes tight, and it's gone. It's over. That fish is gone before we can do anything with it. So I would recommend not having some drag. You can't, I mean, on that, normally you can get away with absolutely being way off and having no drag, but with a kelp, make sure if you're not sure, ask a crew member. For the most part, just make sure you can pull some line off. It should be snug, but you should be able to pull line off. If it hurts, if it makes a crackling sound, if it takes a couple of wraps and a jerk, it's too tight. Make sure these fish can pull some line off. And if you wanted to fish, like I said, back to those jigs, like for the yellowfin, if you wanted to fish something like a mega bait, bolt sniper, zacana, 6X Junior, sometimes on these kelps you can catch a yellowtail on a jig faster than you can catch a sardine out of the hand well. When they're biting, they're biting. So if you have another outfit, if you got like a 40-pound outfit, you want to tie a yo-yo jig onto it, awesome. If they're biting everything in the water, don't bother trying to fight your way through the bait tank. Just grab.
What's the max for this trip?
Max.
Max line? Max fish.
Max fish.
The limit.
What's our limit?
2.5 tons.
Per person.
We'll keep on.
Per
2.5
person.
tons per person. You pull that off, we'll let you do it.
That's what, 3 tunas?
Mexican limit is 5 fish of any one species. 10 fish total daily bag limit with Dorado. 2 fish counting as 5 fish towards your total daily bag limit, and 1 Dorado counting as 1 fish towards your total daily bag limit.
Just want to know, you know, so throw them back, you know. Never caught a fish before in my life, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Me too.
Total bag limit's 5 Mexican line?
5 fish of any one species.
So you got 5 yellows, 2 Dorado.
So is this considered a 3-day or a 2-day?
This is a 2-day. You have to be fishing for over.
Yeah, so half in, half out, right?
What was that? 2 days.
Yeah.
2 pulls. 2 pulls and a half.
So we got 2 days, right?
So say you catch 1 Dorado, 5 Yellowtail, and how many Yellowfin could you keep since the Dorados counts as
For 1 day?
2.5? Yeah.
1 Dorado counts as 1 fish.
Okay.
So you can catch 4 more Dorado, or 4 more Yellowfin rather.
Oh, plus 5 Yellowtail.
Plus 5 Yellowtail.
But if you have 2 Dorado, they count as 5.
No Yellowfin for you.
How's the limit for Dorado?
Good enough.
Next
See, that was a good question, right? You guys are all laughing when I started, you know what I mean?
5.
And Yellowtail?
5
Okay. I thought 3-day, we can do 3-day max.
But then you can do
but it's
2
actually a
days.
2-day.
Yeah,
Johnny.
2 days.
Back to the
Half in, half out.
catching and stuff. We got to put the 1 foot in front of the other here. To give you guys, I'm gonna start crushing some dreams right now. This is where I make everybody.
So you make us cry.
Yeah, we just came back from a 2-day trip with
2 days, what?
2 yellowfin, 9 yellowtail, and a whole bunch of bonito. 2.5 tons. You get 2.5 tons. It is not easy out there. He's going. He's actually. I think he's going to the island. The other boat is going to go try and catch a bluefin. The Pacific Voyager. He's going to San Clemente Island. A lot of guys are not even trying to catch pelagics right now. They're going to go catch bass, hopefully some yellowtail or bonito.
So what are we going for?
We are going to go for yellowfin tuna, Dorado, and
Yellowfin?
Yellowtail.
For the duration of the trip, or we're going to maybe split half and half?
Once you guys get it done, we're gonna go have some more fun and do some other stuff.
Alright.
If we go screw it up day 1, we'll go do some other stuff.
Alright, sounds good.
Screw it up.
Let's just catch all yellowtail on the first day. After that, we'll go after bluefin.
Alright,
All right,
We can definitely
let's do that.
Yeah, if we do some absolute damage, absolutely.
That's the game plan.
We'll be driving all night. We'll go to bluefin.
Alright.
Many questions.
But like I said, 1 foot before the other. The reason I need to tell you that is so that you guys really understand how difficult it has been and how important it is for you guys to be getting everything perfect tonight. These kelps, there were some boats that had some much better fishing. There was a boat with 80 yellowtail. There was a boat with 60 yellowtail. There was another boat that had 116 yellowtail. Those boats had all those fish off of 3 different kelps. If we can find one of those kelps. Now there's like 25 boats going around or driving around out there trying to find those things. But if we get on these, when we get on these good kelps, all hell breaks loose. They are biting full speed, and you need to be on the game. You need to be ready. Your drag needs to be set. Your knot needs to be good. You don't want to have practice with that knot, drink 15 IPAs, try to tie to San Diego, and then all of a sudden
What's wrong with being an alcoholic?
and then all of a sudden you're sitting there trying to get a knot tied. Well, I got 2 gaffs.
I'm catching a good time.
But make sure that we're ready for it when things go. When things are biting, we need to take advantage of it. The basics of fishing, remember, wind in your face, you're in the right place.
Yep.
This boat's gonna be drifting when we're stopped, so anything you put in the water, if you're on the side of the boat with wind in your face, it's gonna be getting farther and farther away from you, farther and farther away from the boat. If you go to the wrong side of the boat, if you go to the side of the boat with the wind blowing on the back of your neck, you put something in the water, and the boat's gonna be drifting over the top of it. You're gonna end up underneath the boat. Now, that rule applies always, no matter what you might see around the
100%.
boat. You might see a foamer, you might see jumping tuna, you might see a kelp patty, you might see whatever over there. But if the wind's blowing that direction, you still fish over here. Because if that stuff's gonna play at all, they're coming to the chum, they come to the boat, and the baits that have gotten away from the boat are the ones that get bites. Kelps are ecosystems. They're not targets. It's not like all these fish. It's not like these kelps that have 80 yellowtail, the kelp's this big. It's not like they're all just packed up hiding underneath the kelp. They swim around it. sometimes over a quarter mile away from it. They associate with these kelps. They don't live inside of them. So we'll get close to them, we'll throw bait, and then the fish, if they want to play, they come to the chum. So make sure that you guys are setting yourselves up for success. The last thing you need to do is try and cast at a kelp. It's actually extremely detrimental. On that last kelp, I watched 3 guys that did just that. They cast a sardine right at the kelp. And like a minute later, they got bit. Now we had 4 or 5 going on the other side. The guys fishing on the correct side of the boat. They got bit, and guess what happened to their fish? They swam those 5 feet into that seaweed, and they busted them all off. So make sure wind in your face, you're in the right place. Even if you see a big spot of tuna, I'm almost always going to set upwind of the fish. If there's some kind of visual fish, I'm almost always going to set up so that we drift closer to it. If there's a big spot of breaking fish, I want to get up above it. I want to throw bait. I want to drift into them, not drift away from them. So more often than not, any kind of visual fish is on the wrong side of the boat. Wind in your face, you're in the right place. And the next thing, it also rhymes. No angles, no tangles. Stay on top of your lines. Now this might be a risky bet on this trip, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I do this on every trip. I've been doing this for like 7 years now. All right, so if every one of you guys follows your line the entire trip, we will not have a single tangle. And if you guys can manage that, I will pay the beer tab.
There you go, boys and girls.
Nobody's gonna fish.
Challenge accepted.
No fishing. The reason I've been able to do that for, I don't know, 2,000 trips, 3,000 trips, whatever it's been, is because it just takes one. If every single person's doing everything just the way they're supposed to do, and they're following their lines, and all those lines stay parallels, no tangles. No tangles, no broken off or burned off fish, no issues, none of that crap. But if there is one non-parallel line, one line that is crossing all those other lines, it screws it all up. In math, it's a non-parallel line, and in the sport fishing world, we just call it that guy.
That's also for the non-drinkers, right? Because they're the ones that always fuck it up.
Hey, just stay down below, dude. I'll keep you here all day long.
But please, stay on top of these things.
I have a question.
I'll fucking give you fish, dude. I'll give you fish.
Yeah.
If your
all day long.
if your lines,
What happened? I have a question. What happened if somebody hook a fish and I got tangled? You guys want to cut the line or just work out with?
so it depends on you. So as I mentioned, we're following our lines. Now, if your line crosses another fish, if your line goes up that way,
that happens,
another
right?
fish, that happens all the time.
Right.
And that's not a problem, as long as that angler's following their line. So if your fish goes up that way and you go up that way, then it's not a tangle. It's not a burned off fish. It's a cross line that's resolved. And if you get up there, you get up to a line that's crossed up and you can't figure out if it's over or under, you gotta ask for one of us, and we're gonna help you out. And the beauty of physics, it's over or it's under. There is no other direction.
You know.
On the other side,
Right.
if the person's trying to do the other thing, and their fish goes up there, and they're going, "Oh crap, my fish is going over there," trying to pull it back to the other side, then it gets bad. Then those fish wrap around. Then they burn off. Then we're going, "Whose line is this? Yellow spectre? Where's that yellow spectre coming from?" And then we're gonna say, we're gonna cut it off.
Okay.
We're gonna make sure that the people that are working to land their fish, and we're gonna keep trouble out of the way. So we never, ever, ever want to watch a fish go away. But we're gonna.
Where are the
sometimes you have
fucking
to-
life vests at?
I'll get there. I'll get there shortly. I'll definitely be getting there.
Let's do it, let's do it, yeah.
But we're always
I don't
there.
know how
If you
to
ever
swim,
need a
that's
hand,
why
if
I'm
you're ever
asking.
not sure, ask for us. We all go by
Thank
the name
you.
Deckhand.
Thank
Ask
you.
for Deckhand, and we're there for you. If you're ever not
Appreciate
sure, go for it.
All right.
But like I said, if somebody's on the wrong side of the boat, tugging on that line or something like that, I don't think twice to go.
It's real comp. Yeah. Thank you.
But it's normally not even a fish. It's normally some guy doing the whole Little Rascals things where they're just playing tug of war from either side of the boat. So make sure we're following our lines. It does take some action. When we're just fishing with sardines, when we're just fly lining baits out there and they're kind of working their way up to the bow as this boat kind of drifts stern first, it's pretty easy. But when we start hooking fish, you guys need to be on it. It's gonna get a little chaotic. You need to communicate, you need to talk to each other. Hey, I gotta go over the top, coming under, hot rail, coming to the corner. Talk to each other, move around. This is sport fishing. It's a sport. It's an action sport. It requires movement. So we got to move. The baits, remember fly line baits, 60 seconds max. There's absolutely no reason to be fishing a sardine for more than 60 seconds. After a minute, the chances of you getting a bite is plummeted. The chances of you being in a tangle skyrocketed. Make sure that you're changing these things out all the time. I do recommend butt hooking your baits. It's really easy. Back bottom third of a bait. Flip those things in the water and they're going to pull away from resistance. A nose hook bait does whatever it wants to. When you nose hook a bait, you're putting resistance on a nose hook bait and they actually want to swim back at you. It's like the rain on a horse. You're just telling them to come back and hide under the boat. So I very much recommend butt hook baits. They take a little practice. We just put a few thousand on the boat. You can practice all you want. Let's see, what other kind of stuff am I missing? We will be trolling.
What's been the hot color on the troll?
Cedar plug's been working out really well for us, and so have the brighter colors. But I will be asking you guys to watch these troll rods. It is your responsibility to wind these rods up and put them away. We'll do troll rotations, numbers 1 through 4, 5 through 6. Yeah, 5 through 8, there we go. 1 through 4, 5 through 8, so on and so forth. Every half hour or jig strike or whatever comes first. It is your responsibility when you're up to troll to be back there watching that rod, yelling hook up when you get a bite. And if we stop this boat for any other reason or you don't get bit and the other one does, it's your responsibility to wind in that rod and put it away in any one of these rod holders. If you do not wind up your rod, that's okay. A deckhand will do it for you. The deckhand, therefore, will not be throwing bait. He will not be filling hand wells. We'll be washing the fish from away. I'm gonna have every hand available on the roof. I got one guy in the bait tank so that we can throw bait on a jig strike, so that we can fill up those hand wells for you. I got the other 2 guys up there on the roof with me looking for kelps all day long. He has to jump off that tank so we can wind in that loose rod so we can land whatever one we got hooked in. We're not gonna hook anymore. So please make sure that it's you guys winding in those troll rods and putting them away. A lot of this fish is up high. I can't see through chop. That fish is 2 feet under the water and we have 4 feet of swell. I can't look through water, then air, then water, and then see a fish. So it's up to those trollers to find those fish that are up high in the water column. I think that's about the gist of it. Does anybody have any questions as far as tackle goes?
My last question.
A lot of fish on the slide.
Yes. Yes. When I will talk to you guys a lot on the PA. I'm loud, I'm annoying, I'll keep on talking, I'll make really bad jokes. If I'm talking about getting on a spot of fish, hey, we got a nice spot of birds, hey, there's a freezer, hey, we got a spot of breaking fish, kelp, whatever it is, get your butt up here, grab your rod, go hang out in the stern. Just go back there. All of our tuna hookups, well, we hooked like 6 or 7. We didn't land very many. But all of our hookups happened within the first 40 seconds. They're all right away.
My last question.
Yes.
Any we will be fishing kites tomorrow? This couple days trip.
For this stuff, we won't be fishing kites.
Okay.
No kites, no balloons. Like I said, if we have a phenomenal day tomorrow, we'll do something different. We'll go out and chase around some
Right. Thank you.
No reason to stay up tonight or wake up.
Get yourself some food.
How far are we running?
Right now, we're gonna go about 65 miles.
Okay, 65 miles. And heaviest line for fly line would be, you said 30?
30.
And then what about for jigs? 40?
Everywhere. 40 is perfect.
And then the grams you said, again, were 200?
Yeah, like I guess 150 to 250.
What would be the lightest gram?
Depends on what line class you're fishing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to balance it out.
The ones that have been caught on, like say it's a Kana or a Gold Sniper.
About 200 grams.
Okay, so larger ones.
Remember too, on those jig outfits, so I said we hooked like 3 times as much yellowfin as we landed. A lot of those were on jigs that we never landed because guys are fishing 40-pound and they're fishing stout rods and they're pulling hard. You have a little treble hook, you gotta take it easy on them. Even though the line's not gonna break, you get your hook, you get your jig back, you get the hook back, but the fish is still swimming around.
And that popper fish that you guys caught, was that a yellowtail? Was that? What's that?
Hooked. It was a yellowfin.
Oh, yellowfin. Okay.
Yeah, on the kelps, I would very, very much recommend either the whole sardine hook method or a jig that you sink out, like a mega bait or a yo-yo jig. Surface irons are fun. Stick baits are fun. They're not nearly as effective. They can work, but for whatever reason, those kelp fish seem to hang out and actually bite down deeper. You get a lot of them chasing around jigs up on top, but they actually eat it instead of
Deeper. And it's deeper, it's like you said, 150.
I drop it down to about 150. You're probably going to get your bite about halfway up.
150 feet.
100, well, maybe 100 feet. Yeah,
100 feet. Okay. Nice.
How about questions as far as technique? Has everybody done this before? Anybody not done this before?
Not at all. First time. But I'm more concerned about where the life jackets are at.
Bring me up to my next thing. Safety.
Yeah, safety.
All right, first and foremost, life rafts is located here on the bow. Life ring is located right next to it. Life vests are located in the galley benches. And all of our life-saving procedures are located on the aft bulkhead of the galley as you walk up the stairs from the bunk rooms. On those little sheets there, it tells you what we do in case of any type of emergency. I highly recommend you take a look at it. Kind of familiarize yourself. Lets you know what we do in case of a man overboard, fire at sea, abandoning a vessel. Familiarize yourself with the emergency stuff. I've never had to use any of this stuff. I never want to have to use this stuff, but it is important that you know where it's at. If you guys are gonna be inviting in some drinks, having a good old time, please make sure that you do so in the galley if it's at night. While we're traveling around at night, we got one guy driving. I want to make sure that everybody comes back home with us. If you're having a few drinks, you decide to sit on the rail, and we take a swell, we're not going to know about it until the next day. And I'm not going to know where you're at. So, please make sure that if you're going to be having a few drinks at night, you do so inside of the galley. The heads are right in front there. You don't have to go past that breezeway there. If that's becoming a problem, we will have to block off that exit there. There is an additional emergency exit in the bunk rooms, all the way forward on the left-hand side. Not the very bow stateroom, but one back on the left-hand side. There's a big sign that says emergency exit. If for whatever reason you were not able to exit from the rear exit of the bunk rooms, the main exit of the bunk rooms, you can go all the way forward, push up on there where it says emergency exit, and get out there. You pop out in the galley. Congratulations to whoever has that bunk. In the morning, you can push up on that little door. You can tell Ryan whatever you want for breakfast, and we'll just slide it down for you. You can eat it in bed.
Here's the beer.
Like I said, we've never had to use any of this stuff. I don't want to have to use any of this stuff, but let's make sure that we're doing everything in our power to make sure we never have to use any of this stuff. Let's be safe, please. If you guys are safe, that means we're gonna have a great time. Any questions as far as the safety equipment goes? No? All right. Let's go catch some fish and have a little time. Thank you guys very, very much. What's that?
You got this.
60 gram jigs working?
Yes, but so it kind of depends on your line class. So if you're fishing like 40 pound test,
I'm good, bro. I got answered like 70% of my questions, which I feel good about it. I feel good about it. I do. Honestly, I do feel good about it. Because the rest of it is up to you guys to teach me. All right.
My pleasure to teach
You
you.
can help me, boss, right?
You got him, huh?
Thank you.
And welcome
I'm looking
aboard.
forward to it. I'm looking
Oh, no
forward to it.
problem. Just say Eddie, and I'm here.
if that fish is doing this,
I would have been cold, but his son sold me an $80 sweater for $40.
75 feet or something like that.
Or a $40 sweater for $80. I don't know.
Heavy,
I don't know.
and it was sitting there scoping out, where now it's like the line kind of
Rob.
wedges on the dark. We're just like,
His name's Robert.
that makes sense?
No. He offered to give me the money back because he thought I was gonna get a hoodie,
I mean, like,
but he gave me a shirt. So I said, look, keep the money, but help me catch a fish because it's my first time. He said, I got you. Right?
That's a good. That's a good.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Thank you for all my questions. I appreciate it. It's not my
Absolutely.
first time getting this boat here. Usually I fishing here. You guys, nice. And
Thank
I
you very,
appreciate
very
it.
much. I appreciate
No
that.
problem. Thank you. This is captain for the Aztec. Fue el capitán del Azteca. Lo hemos entrevistado algunas veces, pero tuve la oportunidad el día de hoy
40.
sacarle algunas preguntas. This is a lot of time. This is all my so many to ask tough questions. What's up, buddy?
How you
Nice to
doing?
meet you again. All right, very good. You're my second trip. I see it. And I hear that you got a second place in jackpot on the last trip, right?
My brother got first.
I know your brother got. Wow, you lucky guy. Your brother got. I know he got a tuna worth 195, I think.
Yeah, around 200.
And yours, how much?
80 to 100.
80 to 100. Right. That's a good money right there.
Where'd you guys get it on? I got mine on a sinker rig, and he got his
Yeah, I
on
saw
a
you.
flat fault.
Yeah.
The cello jig, pink candy.
Except with yeah. You're right.
Number 7.
Yes, sir. Aquí se olvidó, señores. Un Yellowtail early morning. This is guys a lot of fish right here. There's another one here.
Straight out.
There you go. Nice one.
Nice way to get things started there. Watch your lines here, guys.
¿Cuántos llevas, Edward?
2.
Yo tenía 3, güey, el vato me rompió 2, el vato.
A mí también.
Ay, güey. Hablando de... No pasó de cosas, ¿no?
I got deep color. There you go. Thank you. Woo, beautiful. Quiso servió pescando con esas pinturas. Agarramos un yellowtail grande.
Get that one, too. 18? Yeah, I got
That's not what we got right now here.
Hold on. Yeah, I got shit off of it. Are you gonna go help him? Yeah. I got this.
They need a gaff here.
Yeah, one corner. I got it.
Bounce it up, yeah.
You should have hold 25-pound fish.
Oh, you go. Need a gaff here.
I got yeah, sure.
Ya se va. Ya se va. Oh, I got some fish. You got him. Yeah.